Hello, this is Kelly Jennings again with Apex Nutrition and a new area in my website called The Well-Oiled Athlete. I am working through with you my thoughts and now my new excitement and my uses for essential oils in athletes. And hopefully you've seen the video one, so I kind of explain how I came to the realization that these might be helpful for us. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the science and how these might work. So when you see, and I don't know what you see in your Facebook feed, but I have lots of friends into this, but they are just kind of throwing at me different oils that cure different things or help in this way or grow hair or, you know, anything. Get rid of this, get rid of that. And I love they are spreading the word and doing that, but for me, I needed to know more about the science because it just didn't make sense to me. It wasn't intuitive at all, and which is funny because it's very much the same as nutrition. So it turns out that this was right up my alley, but I just needed to work my way around with the science first. So basically what essential oils are plant compounds, right? And plants are going to make compounds to do a few different things. One, it's going to work as protection for them. They want to ward off insects and diseases and all kinds of different things. They need to communicate. They need to communicate and attract pollinators, things that are going to help them. And they also want to make insects not even repel them before they even get near them. They also are going to use it to heal when something has hurt them. They use their compounds to heal and to thrive in general even when they're not hurt. So it's these oils that these plants make and use that are distilled and obtained for our use too. And this is medicinally been used for a very long time, thousands of years, but it's kind of new to a lot of us. So it's important to kind of think of it in that way. It's a lot to me like supplements are, that we've isolated certain compounds or certain parts of food, in this case it's certain parts of plants, and now we're using them. The big difference to me was that supplements are often just ingested, and when you're ingesting things you have all these barriers, which turns out to be good or bad, kind of rate limiting barriers that your gut does, so not everything can get right into your bloodstream. So essential oils are used in a few different ways, but it's pretty much the same. If you've been following my blog or listening to me, you know that ginger can help our joints heal and reduce pain when we have painful joints. Ginger, turmeric, compounds in cherry juice, apple cider vinegar. That one I don't even know how it works, but I still tell you and I still believe it does, and I know it does. So this is not far-fetched at all. If I tell you gingerols, which are compound in ginger, when you ingest them in supplemental form, can help your knees stop hurting, then of course ginger essential oil is the same thing, right? So not too much of a stretch. If you believe food goes beyond calories and carbs and proteins and fats, and you believe that these foods are, plants, then this is all the same. So the ways that we use essential oils then, there's basically three different methods that they can get into your bloodstream. One is through our respiratory system. So they can bind to the mucus in our respiratory system and then pass through to get into our bloodstream, just the same way other compounds do. Lots of compounds, good and bad, right? Like pollution and smoke and that sort of thing. Well, these compounds can do it as well. The next is through skin. So same sort of thing. In our outer layer of our skin, we have lipid-loving chemicals, right, that surround the dead skin cells that work as a barrier but also let lipids and other compounds through. Just like we know, things can enter our bloodstream through our skin. When you start to think about that, it gets a little bit scary when you think about all the different chemical junk products we might be applying to our skin. So that's another way that essential oils can work in. So these compounds and these molecules are able to do that. And the third way we're going to talk about is through digestion. So same sort of thing. They attach to the mucus that's in our digestive tract. It's a healthy thing that we have in place there that allows things to be absorbed or excreted, and then they can get into our bloodstream. Once they're in our bloodstream, we know through good research that they can cause good things to happen. This healing for skin cells, for all sorts of different cells in our body, for gut cells. They can reduce inflammation. They can reduce oxidative stress, just like all the foods that we've talked about that have these plant compounds in them. They do get to our liver, which breaks them down further into metabolites. So these metabolites can also have these beneficial effects. And then they're either excreted much the same way as we absorb them through exhaling, through our skin, through feces, or through urine. So that is how they get into us. Now, they are very powerful. Just like I've always talked about with supplements, once you isolate a part of a food, you have to be oh so careful because you've taken away all the natural barriers. When you eat basil, there's fiber and there's, a basil leaf. There's all these different things that are stopping it from just getting into your bloodstream. But when you take basil essential oil, you're not stopping it. It's not stopping it. You're not stopping it. It's got free reign. So while they can be so helpful and beneficial and powerful, they can also be detrimental. So it's important to not only be very picky and choosy about the quality you're using, but also to know what you're doing. To not listen to everything about these drops and that drops and do this, but to know from a good source. So I'm hoping to be your good source. I will do my due diligence using a company that I definitely respect. And as you follow me through this, I will show you all the tools that I will have for you to use. So that's my second video. Stick around for number 3, where we'll talk about how athletes can use it and how you can start using it if you'd like to. Thank you.